College football has a playoff problem, and nobody knows how to fix it. The SEC wants 16 teams, the Big Ten wants a path to 18 teams, and now is talking about a 24-team bracket. But fans can't decide if they want to stay at 12 teams, go to 16 teams, or go up to the 24-team Big Ten playoff system. But what if expansion isn't the best way forward? What if the best way forward is to shrink the playoffs? But before we talk about how we should shrink the playoffs, let's talk about what the biggest problems with the playoff system are right now. And the way I see it, there are two very large problems with the current 12-team playoff format. The first being that the first round bye teams, the teams seeded 1 through 4, they aren't doing too well. Since the 12-team playoff format was introduced just 2 years ago, teams with a first-round bye are 1-7 in the quarterfinal round. With Indiana, who would eventually win the national championship this past year, being the only team to win a game after having a first-round bye. Which means being ranked in the top 4 and having a first-round bye is a huge disadvantage right now. And the reason for this is that there are 4 weeks off from the conference championship game in the first week of December to the quarterfinal round on January 1st. So teams are getting rusty over that 4-week period. They're not playing games. These are teams that are used to playing every week. And when you have 4 weeks off, they're not doing good. And that right there should be reason enough to get rid of the 12-team format. You have to have 4 teams that go straight onto the quarterfinal round and get a first-round bye in a 12-team playoff format. And you can't have your top 4 teams being at a huge disadvantage. It's not good that a team can win all 12 of their regular season games, win their conference championship game, and then be at a disadvantage when the playoffs start for them. So that right there leaves us with just 3 realistic options. A 4-team playoff format, which we all agreed wasn't working and moved on to the 12-team playoff format, an 8-team playoff format, or a 16-team playoff format. But I don't think a 16-team playoff format is really the way to go about it. I mean, this year alone, we had 3 teams with 2 or more losses make it to the college football playoffs. And college football has always been a sport where a random one-off bad loss can ruin your season. I don't think that we should have 2 lost teams getting hot at the right time and making it to the playoffs or to the national championship game because they're hot at the right time. I think teams need to prove it week in and week out that they deserve to be in the playoffs, that they deserve a shot at the national championship game. And honestly, I'd rather not see a Miami-type run where a team that sneaks in makes it all the way to the national championship game than have a team that has 2 losses in the regular season win the national championship game. A 12-team playoff format just leads to games in the regular season not mattering as much. And same thing with conference championship games. Again, this year, Alabama got absolutely dominated by Georgia in the conference championship game, and they didn't even move down. They were able to make it in at the same seeding they would have been in. Having regular season games and especially conference championship games just really not matter that much is kind of ridiculous. I mean, just imagine how much better SMU's win over Miami would have been if it meant keeping Miami out of the playoffs. And 16 teams would just make this issue worse. Look at the rankings this year. If you took 16 teams this year, took the top 10 that we got into the playoffs this year, added JMU and Tulane, and just added the next 4 out, the first 4 out this year, you would have had Notre Dame, who went 10-2 and lost their first 2 games of the season, get hot at the right time, get hot towards the end of the season, and make it to the playoffs. BYU, who lost to Texas Tech twice, including once in the conference championship game where they got absolutely dog-walked by Texas Tech, a 9-3 Texas team, and a 10-2 Vanderbilt team. And your first 2 teams out would have been Utah at 10-2 and USC at 9-3. And ask yourself this, did any of those teams deserve a shot at the national championship game? I don't think they did. If you want a shot at the national championship game, you should have to win games in the regular season, or else why are we playing regular season games? If Texas could still get into the playoffs after losing to Ohio State and Georgia and then losing to a bad Florida team, do any of those games really make a difference? Or what about Notre Dame? By starting off the season playing Miami and Texas A&M and losing those games, do those games really matter if Notre Dame can still get into the playoffs? Or what about the Big Ten Conference Championship? Both Indiana and Ohio State were both getting in no matter the outcome of that game. Or what about the SEC Conference Championship, where both Alabama and Georgia got into the college football playoffs no matter who won that game? Regular season and conference championship games just not mattering is really, really bad for the sport of college football. Because of that, I think we need to go to an 8-team playoff format. There are some caveats, including introducing divisions. And if you want to see how I would change the conferences to include divisions, well, I made a video on that. So click it up here or up here. I don't know which side it's on. Now, with an 8-team playoff format and divisions in conferences, we would have the winner of each division play in the conference championship game, just like we used to have it. And the top 5 ranked conference champions, so your Power 4 plus 1, would make it to the college football playoffs. If you want to make it to the playoffs, win your conference. And that leaves us with 3 at-large bids, and those bids can either go to the loser of the conference championship game, if it's a very close game and the college football playoff committee thinks that the team that lost in the conference championship game is the second best team, or it could go to a team that didn't make the conference championship game because they lost to the eventual conference championship winner in conference play. And a hidden benefit to having divisions means teams do not get to duck and have an easy schedule in conference because they have to play the members of their division. Look at Texas A&M this year. They looked great all year. They finally meet up against Texas, and they all of a sudden don't look great. And then they go to the college football playoffs, and they definitely don't look great. Now, this year was kind of an anomaly because we had Duke win the ACC and finish unranked, which means they did not make the college football playoffs. So we would still end up with Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Tulane, and JMU in the college football playoffs. But going forward, they are changing the format, so it is the winners of the ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten, and the Big 12 that make it to the college football playoffs. And if we introduce divisions, Duke probably doesn't win the ACC anyways. But still, let's say Duke did win the ACC still. You would have Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Tulane, and Duke that all make the college football playoffs, which leaves you with 3 more teams to put in. Do you put in a Miami? Probably not, because they have 2 losses. Do you put in Alabama? Almost certainly not, because they have 3 losses by this point. Oklahoma, same thing. No, you would definitely go with Ohio State, Oregon, and Ole Miss because they only lost 1 game during the regular season. And then after the conference championship game, you would still get Army, Navy on their own weekend like they should be. And you would have the first round in the 3rd week of December, with 1 game being on Friday night and 3 games being on Saturday. And these would all be on campus. So we would get the on-campus playoff games that we've all been asking for with the top 4 teams in that. I mean, just imagine a home playoff game at the Shoe in the 3rd week of December. That would be an electric atmosphere. Then after that, we just go to the semifinals, with it being a rotating schedule of the New Year's 6 Bowls that we used to have with the 4-team playoff format. And then for the rest of the New Year's 6 Bowls, those would still end up being meaningful bowl games. You would have teams like Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, teams like this would be able to go to bowl games, making bowl games more meaningful than they are right now. And then the very next week, we'd have the national championship game, meaning the season would be over by the 2nd week of January. And I think when you take all of this, the regular season games mattering more, the conference championship games mattering more, and really being de facto college football playoff games, and then bowl games meaning more, would be huge for college football. It would bring us back to where we were with college football and not this expanded playoff, bowl games not mattering, regular season games not mattering, conference championship games really not mattering that we have right now. College football has a lot of problems in its current state, but this is one that we can definitely fix. But let me know in the comments what you think of this playoff format. Let me know if you love it, if you hate it, if you want 16 teams, or if you want to stay at 12 teams. Every comment goes a long ways. And don't forget to like and share. Liking this video, sharing this video, it all pushes this video further. And my goal for this channel is to grow it to give you guys as much college football content as you want. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe. The more subscriptions there are, the further these videos get pushed and the more I'm able to do college football videos like this. So do it right now. Subscribe, like, share, comment, send it to somebody. Let's get this video going.